Steve Dotto here. How the heck you doing this fine day? Me? I have the feeling that you and I should take a ride on the cutting edge and look at the newest of the video conferencing solutions out there, Blab. Now this is the latest in a series of these new conferencing type instant conferencing applications that are designed almost as broadcast mediums. First we had Meerkat, then Periscope, then whatever the heck Facebook called their thing, and now we have what might be the best of the bunch, Blab. Blab allows us to create a video stream with 4 participants broadcasting to as many as we want. It kind of looks like the Brady Bunch as we're having a conversation. It streams beautifully through your browser. There's a mobile side of the app, and it is the latest in the evolution of streaming broadcast conferencing. So it's going to be Blab today on Dotto Tech. Because of my background in broadcast radio and television, I'm really drawn to these new broadcast applications or conferencing applications. These tools that allow us to stream over the internet, video and audio, and allow interaction with an audience. They're fascinating, and they're really, I believe, going to change the face of business, of politics, of entertainment. They're just really wonderful engagement tools. And the latest in that list is this one. It's called Blab. It's free to use. They're a new company. They're a fairly new company. They're very well funded because of their history, and they are going to be a contender, I believe. Now, it's very easy to kind of get your head around what Blab is and what it does. Unlike things like Google Hangouts, which always had a lot of different barriers to entry. There was a bit of a steep learning curve. There was unreliable technology. My early experiences with Blab is that it is an awesomely simple technology and really engaging. Let's just quickly walk through it. You sign up through your Twitter account, although you can sign up and you can view it without being on Twitter, which makes you kind of an anonymous lurker in this situation. And it uses Twitter for promoting the upcoming broadcasts, etc. If you visit their page at Blab.im, I hope it's Blab. Some people might call it Blab. You'll see that they've got basically right now 3 distinct streams or areas that they're talking about. They have a tech channel, which talks about all things technology related. And if you click on any of these, you'll see if any broadcasts are happening live right now, which they don't appear to be, but you can subscribe, which will give you notification of upcoming Blab or events, and you can so you can schedule and you can have people subscribe. There isn't any way for you to capture the information. It's not like with a normal webinar where you're capturing information and sending emails and that sort of stuff. It's far simpler a process where you just subscribe, then you open the window, and then when it starts, it will start playing, but it kind of gives you a little reminder. We've got one on air right now. They're talking social media, and you can see the people who are engaged in each of these conversations. So we see a couple in the business area, and then in the general area, in the general tab, there's usually a few more. And yeah, there's people talking tartan talk, which I imagine, I don't know what tartan talk is. It might be talking Scottish people. After Blab Medical, they've got a whole variety of different on-air ones in the general space. Well, let's kind of go over to the business space and let's just lurk and have a listen. So as soon as you've signed up, you don't have to do anything. You can go in and you can have a listen to what's happening. So let's just jump into this one that's going on right now. And I just click on the on-air button. It will find the stream, and then it will let them know here in the chat area on the right-hand side.
I haven't gotten a ticket yet, so I'm not sure. I might just like go there and meet some people.
It's let them know that I am in the room, and so I've got my name would have appeared saying Steve Dotto entered this chat. Somewhere down here it should say it. Let me look for it, unless things are happening so fast that I'm already through the top. And along the top here you see a roster of all of the people that are in the room. Now when I did my first Blab last night, I did one with a few friends, and we promoted it a little bit by email, and we had about 100 people in the room, which was, I think, a fairly large number, at least for the early point of Blab. And we could scroll back and forth along this list here, and it will actually scroll to the right so that we could see all of the different people that are in the room. Now, if you see somebody who you want to follow, or you find somebody that might be worth watching, you can just click on them, or hover your mouse over top of them, and ask to follow. Now, for some reason, my screen is not resolving perfectly, but that's probably because this is still beta. But if I just just click on follow here now, I'll start following this Debs Smith. So you've got that kind of ongoing interaction. Now what's just happened is one of the people has dropped out of this conversation here, and if I wanted to join in and give my 2 cents worth to the room, I could click on join, and then the moderator, who's up here in the upper left-hand corner, would be able to determine whether or not they wanted to bring me into the room or not. So I could actually join in the conversation if I chose to. So I'm just going to back out of this room because I want to show you the rest of the interface. So there it is. So I backed out of the room. So this is my account. Let me just click on my account just to show you for a moment how it's set up. It's quite simple. It follows my Twitter profile as far as the name and all of that sort of stuff. And it's got how many people I'm following and how many people are following me. And that will build over time, especially if you're broadcasting, if you're a sort of person that's going to start creating and using this for community building. So you'll get followers, much as you do in Twitter or on Facebook. We get people that are following you. So here's some of the people that were engaged in the single blab that I did last night. We had Brian Fanzo on and Sue Zimmerman were all on it. But as you scroll through, you can see all of the different people that I'm following right now. This is a list of people that I'm following. This woman here, Eileen Smith, I'm going to put a link to her in the description below. Eileen has really followed this technology closely, and she's got a really good PDF that you can download that walks you through the process, both as a participant and as a broadcaster in this space. She's really jumped into it early on and one of the really good early adopters. So she's providing some great services there. Personally, having used it for just, a single broadcast now, I like the environment. With 4 people on, it's not too noisy, it's not too busy. It's far easier to manage a Blab broadcast than it is a Google Hangout or other form of broadcast. And the technology seems to be a little bit more stable as well, which is a good thing. When you finish during the recording, at any point, the host can choose, or during the broadcast, the host can choose to record the Blabcast, and at the end of it, then they are sent a download link for the video and the audio, so they can create a podcast instantly from it. So it's very, very friendly as far as being able to leverage the content that you create in one of these broadcasts downstream. Now, a lot of the cut broadcasts that you jump into now are people that have no idea of what they want to say in a broadcast, so they're just basically babbling on about, doing their nails and stuff like that. So there's going to be a bit of a sussing out period until people that are really engaged in content and really get their head around what sort of content they want to deliver in this format get into the space and start to take over and start to dominate the space. But if you come in thoughtfully and knowing exactly what it is you want to share, and with a good structure and good control over the environment, it can be a very rich broadcast environment. It reminds me a lot of doing call-in radio and the kind of control that we want and the kind of interaction that we want. There's a chat window going down the side. There's tweets that are happening, all integrated right within the broadcast itself, which really add to the audience being able to come in if there's interesting people. And the fact that you can move people in and out of those chairs, in and out of those 4 squares, and interview different people and have guests jump in and out, that creates a really nice, interesting, dynamic approach to the entire thing. I like it a lot. Just today, we're August 17th, I think, they released the Blab iOS app. There isn't one out yet for Android, but let's take a quick look. And if I open the iOS app, I had to log in using my Twitter credentials once again, but it's identical. It looks pretty much identical to what we're seeing on the desktop. From what I understand, I'll just jump into that same talk that we were in. I'm just opening it up here so you can have a look. The chat is a little bit compressed down at the bottom, so it's not quite as comfortable as far as chatting as you would be in your desktop client. But here in the mobile environment, this is awesome. You've got the ability to be able to view these through mobile, and you can also broadcast through mobile. So it kind of takes on a little bit of that Periscope side, except with Periscope, what people are doing, since there's only a single feed, is they're like pointing the camera at Skype while they're interviewing people and while they're talking. So Periscope seems to work much better for a one-on-one, whereas this works far better, or works very well, I think, for an interview format, a group, a conversation, that sort of thing, which I find to be, as I say, very, very compelling. I'm going to tap here on the home button. That takes me out of that Blab and back into the home. That's it. I encourage you to jump on, take a look. It's free. They haven't really outlined yet what their business model is going to be. There doesn't seem to be any advertising attached, and they are in the early stages. So this is an opportunity to jump on one of the really fast-moving, new, compelling technologies just as it's kind of coming into its own. So check out Blab.im. I hope you found today's video to be useful. Now remember, there's 3 ways to stay in touch with us here on Dotto Tech. The first is you can subscribe to this channel. Second is subscribe to our newsletters. And guess what? I'll let you know when I'm doing upcoming blabs in the newsletter, as I will be doing them on a fairly regular basis, I think, at least for the time and for the foreseeable future. And finally, Dotto Tech is a community-funded channel. We're supported by you, our viewers, through the crowdfunding site Patreon. I encourage you to drop by our Patreon page, have a look, and discover the perks that are included in supporting Dotto Tech. And those perks, well, they are awesome. That's all the time we have for today. I thank you so much for your time. Until we see you again, have fun storming a castle.